Hello, a bunch of queers. My name is Tove Pilgrim, and today we're bulking, alright? We're reading some creepypasta, get it? Bulking pasta, alright. I've been bulking my whole life, anyway. The fun fact about me, I'm a virgin. I've never read a single creepypasta in my life. Those are true facts, by the way. I listened to the Bright Sessions and the Magnus Archives, or whatever they're called. But I don't know if those are considered creepypastas, because when I think of creepypastas, I think of like late 2000s, early 2010 fanfiction tier level bullshit stories made by probably pedophiles on Tumblr to scare 10-year-olds. You know, stuff like Slenderman, obviously, the Russian sleep experiment, which is the most interesting to me, which maybe we'll make a video about it, I don't know. Maybe that one with the whale game, is that a creep? Did that happen? Whale game, real. Blue whale, what is the truth behind an online suicide channel? I'll rank it as a creepypasta because that shit seems fucking fake. But you never know, you know? Anyway, the one where Mickey Mouse kills himself, why did that happen? The one where Mickey kills himself, why didn't that happen in real life? The one where Squidward killed himself, the one where Bart Simpson killed himself. A lot of cartoon characters just fucking offing themselves. Ben drowned. Herobrine. That one scared the shit out of me. I vividly remember seeing his bitch ass in Minecraft Pocket Edition. But that's a story for another time. The Lavender Town Syndrome, Sonic.exe, Polybius, and of course, our main course today, Jeff. Jeff the Killer. A stupid fucking name, by the way. I've been on the internet since I was able to open my slutty little eyes. You know, I'm a horror aficionado because I don't have a father figure and I never had one. I've seen fucking ISIS beheading videos on Reddit. Seen it all. Except for creepypastas. I was just never interested in them, and that baffles me. It is weird because I look like I only read that. I don't know much about them. I never read a story in my life. I've never read a creepypasta story in my life. Of course, I've heard some stuff like Herobrine and Slenderman. I've heard enough of other people talking about it in regular conversations that I'm confident in saying that I know the whole thing, or like enough. You know, I'm able to talk about them superficially, but I've actually wholeheartedly never fully read one in my life. So this video, right? There's this one story, huh? I'm guessing you've heard of it. Probably the most popular creepypasta besides Slenderman, I guess. Which, let's get this out of the way. Smash. Jeff the Killer. Does anybody like even like Jeff the Killer? Are there like, do we have any Jeff the Killer stands? Smash. His name's Jeff. His name's not the most intimidating name for a murderer, I would say. Oh, there goes Jeff. His name is Jeff. Jeff the Killer. Ryan the Rapist. I don't know. There he goes. Ryan the Rapist. You know what I mean? Hold. Jeffrey Dahmer. You think... Is it because of Jeffrey Dahmer? Do you think people called him Jeff? What kind of stupid name is Jeffrey if we're like... Anyways, imagine being called Jeffrey. I mean, I would kill people too, you know? It's time. I would kill people too, you know? It's time to start our wonderful journey into the creepypasta world with Jeff. Jeff, he kills people. He surely does. We're reading by running over to creepypasta.com. Let's read Jeff. My name is Jeff. Let's read Jeff. We can, we can do this. All right, guys. Let's excerpts from a local newspaper. Ominous unknown killer is still at large. As I said before, I would kill people too if my name is Jeff. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. Oh, it's getting crazy, dog.
I have shivers.
Shut the fuck up and read the story. I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. That would put me in a coma. You are a young boy. How are you alive after that? I would cower. I would run. I got up and shot it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. Dog. Alert. Everyone. Ever. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light illuminating from between my curtains were a pair of 2 eyes. That's a sophisticated fucking child. Imagine your child says there, in the illuminating ray of light. The fuck? Anyway, were a pair of 2 eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. You ever seen dark, ominous eyes? Surely didn't. I've never seen Jeff the Killer, it seems like. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. Bordered in black. And that's when I saw his mouth. A long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase, but said in a way only a madman could speak. My name is Jeff. Why did they name him Jeff? He said go to sleep. That is the most... That is not threatening. Go to sleep. What do you mean? I'm trying to. I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed, kinky. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's a typical Saturday evening for me. That's when my dad busted in. Typical Saturday. My dad busts. No, he doesn't. He's not alive. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. Oh no! That reminds me of something. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police. So Jeff's 0, dad 1. Jeffy's #1 fear. A dad with a phone. Same. Your #1 fear is fathers? Yeah. Me too, man. Yeah, you just gotta call the police, easy as that. Jeff the Killer says ACAB, I guess. Based. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out it to see him vanish into the distance. I can only repeat myself, that is one sophisticated fucking child. I can tell you one thing, I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head. That is a young boy. I wouldn't talk like that. Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in this story, please contact your local police department. That's every second alt girl. Easy. Just get any person with a 3-letter name and corpse paint. Easy as that. Jeff! I'm sorry, that's gonna happen a bunch of times. Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. White. Just say suburban neighborhood, you know? Just say white. Jeff and his brother Liu. Liu? Okay, firstborn Jeff. I'm pressing out another baby. Liu? What type of ethnicity is that mom? Liu? Liu couldn't complain though. A new better house. What was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. Hello, she said. Liu. Still not over that. That's... For some reason that is worse than Jeff. How are you able to have a worse name than Jeff in your story? It's not because it's Asian. It's because Jeff and Liu. I live across the streets from you. I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son. She turns around and calls her son over. Billy. These are our new neighbors. Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. Hello. Oh, no. I don't read books. Well, said Jeff's mom, I'm Margaret. And this is my husband Peter. You have Margaret, Peter, Jeff, and Liu. Liu! That is a self-insert or some shit. You have a weird fantasy about a character named Liu or something. That is like me calling every second character Coraline even though I live in a German country. Liu. They each introduced themselves and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his mom. Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid. That's not how children talk. That is like fucking AO3 Attack on Titan level of fucking writing, dog. What the fuck? Jeff! Said his mother, we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now, we're going to the party and that's final. Jeff started to talk but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. I've read books. That is dumb. What the fuck? He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much pain, but a weird feeling. Me when I'm describing my symptoms to my psychiatrist. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. I wrote better shit at fucking 8 years old. His mom said to do that, and then he did that. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs again. You can skip this stuff. I put my hair into a messy bun to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. I'm going ballistic. It gave him a slight tug in pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Liu... That's a fucking Tekken character. Finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. Hey! What the hell? Yeah, what the hell, man? What are you, fucking stupid? The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. I'm taking back what I said. That is a cool kid. Wow. The kid seems to be about 12. 1 year younger than Jeff. Thank you for reminding me that Jeff is 13 years old. He wears an... Oh, well, that's some bad name and I'm gonna embarrass myself by not knowing what this is. Aeropostale. Aeropostale? Oh, some American fucking shit probably. I don't care. And ripped blue jeans. Well. It looks like we got some new meat. It's also not how kids talk. Suddenly, 2 other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge. Okay. They have personalities, I'm sure. The one's skinny and the other one's fat. Since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith. Jeff and Liu looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. What the fuck did Keith do to you, man? Keith just is standing there. That's not nice. And he's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid. Yo, leave my man alone. What the fuck did Troy do to you? Except being called Troy, which is a cool name. Talk about... Yo, I need to stand up for this. That is not right. What the fuck? I mean, kids are assholes, but I mean, wait. They looked over at the fat kid. First of all, what the fuck? Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. That's... My man is describing simple characters like J.K. Rowling describes her villains. He had long, skittish, dumb, rashy hair, which he wore on his stupid face with his bushy, ugly, mean eyebrows. He had pimples. Fuck pimples. If you have pimples, this is J.K. Rowling speaking. This is not a story. This is me speaking. Fuck you if you have an ugly face. He's so stupid. He's ugly. What an ugly pig. What a cow. He's so fat. Look at his dumb, stupid face. If you are fat, you are stupid. That's not right. I need to sit back down. That was also too much exercise. I'm literally Troy. That's so mean. What the fuck? No wonder I didn't read that as a kid. My fucking self-esteem would have been fucking kaput. And I, said the first kid, am Randy. Now for all the kids in the neighborhood, there is a small prize for bus fare if you catch my drift. Shut the fuck up, Randy. Leo stood up. Fuck yeah, Leo. Ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. That's also not how 12-year-olds are, especially in a nice neighborhood, aka a suburban. I can't... Ah, okay. I get it now. I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Leo and took his wallet out of his pocket. That's... oh my god. Maybe I also grew up in a suburban neighborhood, but that's not what kids do. Jeff got that feeling again. Now it was truly strong, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Leo gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. That kid is gonna fucking die. Listen here, you little punk. This is ridiculous, man. Punk as an insult? That's cool, but not coming out of a fucking 13-year-old. Give back my bro's wallet or else. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. What? This is America, right? They should be in Brixton or some shit. And what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He won a fucking 3v1. What? He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Leo could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. In amazement, your brother sent 3 children to the hospital. In amazement. Alright. Jeff, how do you... was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing. So they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. Yeah, he's not looking in amazement. As Jeff and Leo... again, I'm sorry, Jeff and Leo made it to the school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Leo just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids. But Jeff knew it was more. Beating up a few kids. Stabbed with a knife. Yeah, just, you know, typical day in Florida. Most average day in Ohio. Anyway, but Jeff knew it was more. Whoa. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home, due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and how now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore. He felt happy. I'm also happy when I don't have to take the bus. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, because I have anxiety. And he said, in a somewhat ominous voice, "Are you in love with Jeffrey? Why are you trying to make him sound cool?" It was a wonderful day. Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. That's all you can describe a parent looking at their child who is accused of stabbing people into the hospital. "Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids, that it wasn't regular fighting, and that they were stabbed." "Stabbed, son?" Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. "Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Leo." "Son," said one of the cops, "we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now what does that tell us?" That they pulled out the knife first. What? That is a reasonable counter accusation, right? Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Leo had been attacked, but then there was no proof it was not them who attacked first. There were eyewitnesses. I guess from the bus. Media literacy, my guys. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing because truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Leo. You could They pulled out knives. Am I stupid? Am I Jeffrey Dahmer? Maybe. "Son, call down your brother." Police officers called kids son, yeah, as like a calming manner to get them to like tell them the truth, right? But in every sentence, "Son." Jeff couldn't do it since it was he who beat up all the kids. "It was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Leo tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me." The cop looked at his partner and they both nod. "Well, kid." I have to stand up again. "Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie." I don't think this is how police works. I don't have much experience with police, but well, 1 year in juvie. Fuck you. That's not how jail works. As a 13-year-old? "Wait," says Leo. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Leo. Most accurate representation of America I've ever seen. What the fuck? That's a 13-year-old child on top of a staircase with a knife. With their mother in front of them. "It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it." He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises as if he was in a struggle. "Oh. Same, I also self-harm." That's not funny. "Son, just put the knife down," said the officer. "Don't think the pulling guns at a 13-year-old is gonna help with that." Leo held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his arms up and walked over to the cops. "No, Leo, it was me. I did it." Jeff had tears running down his face. "Jeff, you're a fucking pussy." "Huh, poor bro. Trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away." The police led Leo out to the patrol car. That's not how things work, right? Am I stupid? "Leo, tell them it was me. Tell them I was the one who beat up those kids." Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulder. "Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We know it's Leo. You can stop." "How? He has those bruises, yeah, but they were both in a fight. There are witnesses." Jeff watched helplessly as the cop speeds off with Leo inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. A distressed, traumatized child seeing their brother taken away. Me, an empath, sensing that something is wrong. "Son, what is it?" "A lot of sons." Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him. Breaking Bad! Sorry. As Jeff wept in the driveway. "You're not coming inside. Your parents are inside." After an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house. "You fucking bitch." You cried an hour outside. Wouldn't the parents bring him back inside? Seeing that his parents were both shocked, sad and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Leo when it was his fault. Sorry? Oh, he just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. Crazy. That is crazy. That is a child going to prison. Wow. He just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by with no word from Leo at JDC. I don't know what JDC means. No friends to hang out with, nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Saturday, when Jeff is woken up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face. Jeff, it's the day, she said as she opened up the curtains and let light flood into his room. What's today? Asked Jeff as he stirs awake. Why, it's Billy's party. She's British. He was now fully awake. Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after... There was a long pause. That's not how kids... Do 13-year-old kids talk to their mom like that? Mom, you can't... Ben Shapiro. Mom, you don't possibly think that I would go to this... beyond IQ level of me child's party. Oh, I also don't know how to make my wife wet. Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed. It's a child's birthday party. It's miserable. You're delusional. He fought himself to get up. He picked out a random shirt and a pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up. That's, by the way, that's again fucking Wattpad type beat. His mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought why they would ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party. Me too, Jeff. Son, is that all you're going to wear? Said Jeff's mom. Yeah, it's a 13-year-old's child party. Better than wearing too much, he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hit it with a smile. Not nice. Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression, said his father. No, this is how you go if you want to look like a fucking idiot. What are you doing in a suit at a children's party? Jeff grunted and went back up to his room. I don't have any fancy clothes, he yelled downstairs. Just pick out something, called his mother. He did that. He did pick out something. Whoa. He looked around in his closet for what he would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which go with dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. That's less formal. You're wearing that? They both said. His mother looked at her watch. Oh no, time to change. Let's just go. Oh, no time to change. Oh, so I thought, oh no. Oh no. Oh! Comma. No time to change. Let's just go, she said as she herded Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. You are across the street. There is no, oh, I don't have time to do something when you live across the house of which you're going to. What? They knocked on the door and it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, way overdressed. Okay, it's just, they're fucking Tindering at a child's birthday party. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. The kids are out in the yard. Oh, so I thought this is going to be fucking weird. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in a Toys R Us. Suddenly, you're 13! Suddenly a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun. Oh. He's gonna shoot someone. Hey, wanna play? He said. It says play, by the way. It's Why does it say play? Ah, no kid. I'm way too old for this stuff. Shut the fuck up, Jeff. You're not gaining sympathy points right now. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face. Please, said the kid. Again, it says please. What is... 13-year-olds don't say v instead of l. Fine, said Jeff. He put on the hat and started to pretend shoot at the kids. At first, he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. Yeah. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off of Leo. So he played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise. A weird, rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. It's a child's birthday party. You're doing a drive-by at a 13-year-old child's birthday party on skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. Hello, Jeff, is it? He said. We have some unfinished business. They're adults. Jeff saw his bruised nose. I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you and you get my brother sent to JDC. Oh, JDC is a jail, I guess. Don't care. American. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today. Children's party. What the fuck? Ridiculous. As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming and parents were running out the house. Yeah, there should be parents out the house already. Troy and Keith both... No. No. So it's a children's birthday party. They're 13-year-olds on skateboards, might I add. Fucking dork. All right. You have ripped jeans. Fuck you. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets. There are adults. It's a nice neighborhood. Your dad paid money to rent a house, to buy a house. Buying a house, ridiculous. What a stupid idea. No one interrupts or guts will fly. It's a 13-year-old with a gun. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Why aren't the parents doing something? There's no description of parents doing something. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. Parents! There is a gun. Kids are screwed. The two. two gun. How are 13-year-olds getting gun? 2 gun. What? Are creepy pauses just like that? Damn, I see what you guys fucking seen that now. Kids with guns? Chicks with dicks? I'm fucking dying. Need some help? He picks Jeff up by the back of the collar and throws him through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. Parents! Adults! I know there are children with guns, but like, have mentioned them? That is the coolest shit I've ever read. Come on, Jeff, fight me. He picks Jeff up and throws him into the kitchen. Parents! 13-year-olds! Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Fight! He throws Jeff back into the living room. Come on, Jeff, look at me. Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year? You should be ashamed. That is wild. Why are you making them kids? Make them like Euphoria type teenagers. Jeff starts to get up. Oh, finally, you stand and fight? Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Typical Saturday evening for me. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one in which he hasn't felt for a while. Yeah, it's murder. Just say that he wants to murder people. We know it. Finally, he's up. He said that. Finally you stand and fight. And then it describes Jeff, how he looks. And then he says, finally, he's up, says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's so weird. That's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. What is a pile drive? He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. That is crazy! No way you guys read that. Fucking, that is crazy. That is the coolest shit I've ever read in my fucking life. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Dies from a punch to the heart. Where's the adults? Where's the other kids? Where's the 2 people with guns? Everyone is looking at Jeff now. Well, now the parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith, although they easily break from their grace and point their guns at Jeff. Jeff sees the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. What the This is getting more and more I have to read this. No way. No way that is the real thing. No way that is the fucking original. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith raise in, knives ready. Now we're in Britain again. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burned both of them and they both started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes as best as he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. I'm reading about children murdering each other. No. No! What's so funny? Asked Jeff. Keith pulled out the lighter and switched it on. What's funny, he said, is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol. I think the decision to make them 13-year-olds is the dumbest fucking thing ever. Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol in the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire. A child on fire! You are— The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and the other parents trying to extinguish the flame. That's when he passed out. That is wild. When Jeff woke up, he had cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder. Thank you for clarifying. And stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tubes in his arm. And when he tried to get up, it fell out and a nurse rushed in. Such a movie trope. Does that happen in real life? I don't think you can get out of bed just yet, she said as she put him back in bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea of what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. Honey, are you okay? She asked. Jeff couldn't answer though. His face was covered and he was unable to speak. Oh honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed of trying to attack you, they decided to let Leo go. Well, if that's all it took. This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. Oh, Jeff. Does Jeff keep on loving his brother? Or does his brother die and that fuels him to be a serial killer? Because I think a serial killer who just loves his brother that's a cute thing. What? How cute such a thing could be. He'll be out by tomorrow. Well, why not today? And then you two will be able to be together again. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes. Well, stay with your child, wretched. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Then came the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family members were all there to see it, what he would look like. Nope. It's not gonna be good, guys. I have a feeling this is not gonna be a great look on him. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed. Let's hope for the best! That's not... Said the doctor. That's not how doctors behave in this situation. Well, let's just see if you look like a fucking monster! He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the side of his face. No, that's vile. That's not what you do to your child. Contain yourself, dog. What are you doing? Leo and Jeff's dad stare awestruck at his face. What happened to my face? Jeff said. He rushed out the bed and ran to the bathroom. He's able to walk now. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of the distress. His face. It is horrible. His lips were burned to a deep shade of red. His face was turned into pure white color and his hair singed from brown to black. Is that medically accurate of like bleach and vodka burning? He slowly put his hands to his face. It had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family, then back at the mirror. Ironically, smash. Jeff, said Leo. It's not that bad. Your mom screamed at the top of her lungs. Not that bad, said Jeff. It's perfect. His family was equally surprised. Me too. What? Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching. Yeah, just go with every fucking movie trope. His jokerification. Jeff, are you okay? Okay, I've never felt more happy. That's... Ha, 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 ha! Me on a Saturday evening. Alright. Look at me! This face goes perfectly with me. He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall... Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine. That is, his parents didn't know. That is a crazy way of writing a story. I've never read something like this. Doctor, said Jeff's mom, is my son alright? You know, in the head. How does he know? Oh yes. This behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amount of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, you break your arm and it's your jokerification for a few weeks, according to this dumbass doctor. Bring him back here and we'll give him a psychological test. You don't do that. Oh yes. Oh, thank you, doctor. Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go. Jeff looks away from the mirror, his face then formed into a crazy smile. Okay, mommy! Ha ha ha! Same. Me on a Saturday evening. His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes. Is he naked? This is what came in, said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched together. Just buy new clothes. You live in a suburban neighborhood. Who has gun child violence. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life. Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks. This is literally Joker! That is the jokerification of Jeff. Jeff, what are you doing? Well, open your fucking eyes. Jeff looked over to his mother. I couldn't keep smiling, mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever. Jeff's mother noticed his eyes, ringed in black. Jeff, your eyes! His eyes were seemingly never closing. You've been looking at him for like 10 seconds. I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself, my new face. That's cool. That's actually cool. That is a cool character trope. I like Jeff the Killer. Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane. Yep. Thank you. What's wrong, mommy? Aren't I beautiful? Yes, son, she said. Oh, it's starting to rain. That scared me for a second. My window, by the way, it's open. Yes, you are. Let me go get daddy so he can see your face. She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. He has a name. Honey, get the gun! Get the gun? Why does everything resolve in gun violence? America. She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife. I'm getting tired. Mommy, you lied. That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with the knife, gutting both of them. His brother Leo woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Leo. No! I thought he loved his brother. That's stupid. That doesn't make sense. Leo trashed... What? Leo trashed here and there. Leo trashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. Shh! Jeff said, just go to sleep. Remember to check out the Jeff the Killer reboot of this creepypasta classic. So that was... I've seen things as stated before. That is crazy. I get why it's popular. It is so stupid. I need sleep. My brain is shutting down. I can't form sentences. Holy shit. So, So I guess if you enjoyed my beautiful rendition of a classic creepypasta, Jeff, subscribe. I don't know. I'm speechless. I can't. That was tiring. That was an hour. I like it. Funny enough, I kind of like it because it is crazy. That was the craziest shit I've ever read. Who comes up with this shit? Yeah, I hope you like this. I sure did, but I'm dead. Jeff is coming through here right now, and I'll see you in the next video when I recharge my battery. Bye bye. No.